Lolly Rico, the executive director of Faithful Companions of Jesus Refugee Center, has provided a sanctuary for refugees. She was forced to leave her country, El Salvador, in 1990. She came here in Canada with her late husband Francisco Rico and 2 children while she was pregnant. As they established their family in Canada, they became painfully aware of the misery of refugees in Canada. Along with her husband, she came up with the idea to convert a house into the now known FCJ Refugee Center.
Both of us, my husband and I, we were having a human rights background, and we started looking how we can work and help in Canada. We were welcome. They opened their door. We need to continue doing that.
The center was founded in 1991, a year after they arrived in Canada. At that time, they only had 1 part-time employee. Today, the center has over 10 full-time employees. According to the latest annual report of 2021, FCJ has helped 50 clients to access emergency shelters and permanent housing, most of the clients being single moms. They raised over $2 million in the year of 2021. But in all this, Lolly is not alone. Carolina Tevez is a crucial team member who supports her. Once a client at the center, she is now the communications and network coordinator at the center.
It was a very difficult time to come to Canada. It was very challenging. I remember that we had to stay at the border for the whole day with my 3 kids. It was really complicated. I was looking for help with my family, and we met Lolly and Francisco, and it was really nice welcoming from them.
Since the pandemic started, she has provided information on different topics through her podcast, Borderless Voices.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Borderless Voices podcast presented by the FCJ Refugee Center.
Throughout the year, she has produced 37 podcasts on different topics.
With the podcast, also what she tries that we can send the message, but not just people in Canada. It's anyone who can get information how it is the situation in Canada. She's the one that is showing to the world what is our work with all the communications part.
She also published 32 videos from their webinars on YouTube in the year 2020.
Thank you and welcome.
Starting from scheduling the events to keep their website up to date, Carolina has been with the center since she arrived in Canada. Near the FCJ Center, Lolly has helped place 25 women and their children in homes this year.
We have been gaining some name, and people have been coming and give us donation, but still it is a big challenge for us, the sustainability of the organization.
Government grants like the City of Toronto and more provided the center with around $581,000 in 2020, but in the year 2021, the donations went up to $1.5 million. Their settlement program costed $1.2 million in the same year, which is almost equal to the government grants they received.
It's a bigger struggle because the people that we service, no one wants to fund. Like, for example, refugee claimants, they don't meet the eligibility criteria to be funded by Immigration Canada.
She has been struggling to find more houses for refugees. With the housing crisis in Toronto, it is nearly impossible. Diana Galigo, the senior director of FCJ Center, supports Lolly to find placements for the refugees.
Juntos para que su aplicación.
Not only this, but she also teaches in George Brown College, as she believes in passing her knowledge to the new generation.
Right now, I'm the senior director at FCJ Refugee Center, but I started working at FCJ as a volunteer.
She was forced to fly from her home country, Colombia, which made her determined to help Lolly in her journey.
My husband and myself, we are refugees. We were human rights defenders. Our story is kind of similar to the founders of the FCJ Refugee Center.
As she's a Colombian-trained lawyer, she handles the refugee claimants and supports them in their fight to get a status in Canada.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. the refugee hearing preparation. Refugee claimants, even directly from the airport, we do an intake. We try to connect them right away with legal aid, to find a lawyer if they don't know nobody, to apply to Ontario Works.
Refugee claimants have been increasing over time throughout the years 2015 to 2019. However, in 2020, there was a significant decrease in the claimants, which is a sign that the conditions of refugees have been better with time. Lolly's husband Francisco Rico passed his job to Diana to teach in George Brown College, as he thought that the students are the future of the country that need to know about the struggles of refugees. The FCJ Refugee Center has several supporters, including IKEA, Canadian Women's Foundation, York University, and more, but that is just not enough. That is why Lolly and her team decided to start fundraising events. Recently, Carolina organized a Ride for Refugee event, and it was a huge success.
That we start a whole campaign with volunteers. That what we do is a pledging and asking for funding. It's for us, it's not a big job. It's like it's a kind of something to keep us with passion in the organization.
And it was very successful campaign, but it's not enough. We always have to keep doing this and find resources that help us to keep working, to keep supporting refugees and other vulnerable populations that come to our office looking for support.
Diana also helps Lolly to place refugees into hotels temporarily. This is until the center can help with their residency.
Putting them in 1 or 2 nights in a hotel. After that, we move them to Airbnb. But what we try, or to send them to a small town where is another refugee house, for example, in Windsor, or in Niagara, or in Hamilton.
Lolly says her husband and late co-director Francisco Rico was her biggest supporter. She dedicates all her awards to him and says that she wants to share her achievements with him. Lolly has proudly helped many families and is recognized for her hard work that she has done within her community. She says she will not give up until every refugee in Canada is provided with food and shelter.